We begin this afternoon with an emotional goodbye to a police officer who died trying to make roll call and begin his shift during the worst hours of Harvey in Houston. Hundreds gathering this morning at Houston's Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart to pay their respects to Houston Police Sergeant Stephen Perez. The 60-year-old officer perished in floodwaters off of Beltway 8. His body recovered by fellow HPD officers on the dive team. Good afternoon. I'm Sherman Chow. Right now, a processional to the cemetery is underway from the church downtown to where Sergeant Perez was honored. We have live team coverage of the services. Michelle Choi inside the Co-Cathedral downtown, and Jason Miles was outside talking to the men and women in blue. We begin with Michelle.
Yeah, Sherman, it was a very somber but beautiful service. Now, you know what's happening right now behind me is HPD just got done rendering honors to the fallen officer, and at this moment they are getting ready to escort the funeral procession to lay Sergeant Perez in his final resting place. Now, I'm just going to step out here real quick. This is all the movement that you're seeing right there. That black limousine you see, his wife is actually sitting in that car getting ready to go to the burial site. Now, the service lasted about an hour and a half, and this all started when this American flag draped casket carrying Sergeant Steve Perez was carried into the Cathedral Church. Family, friends, and Sergeant Perez's blue family came out in the hundreds to pay their respects and say goodbye to the longtime public servant. Sergeant Perez died 2 weeks ago on his way to work after driving into floodwaters during Harvey. The married 60-year-old Army vet who loved his family and serving spent his final hours trying to make roll call and saving flooding victims. Today, his son, Mayor Sylvester Turner, and Chief Art Acevedo spoke words of remembrance.
Our dad was the greatest protector, defender, and rescuer. It feels impossible to describe the man he was.
Sergeant Perez represented and epitomizes first responders, police officers, showing up every single day, doing their job and doing them exceedingly well.
What Steve did that morning, that Sunday morning, Cheryl, when he wanted to go to work at 4 in the morning, he chose to be a vessel for the good Lord.
Governor Greg Abbott and his wife were also among those who came out to honor the 34-year veteran. Now, Sergeant Perez's body will be buried in a private service at the Houston National Cemetery. He is survived by his wife, son, and daughter. Sherman.
All right, thank you, Michelle. The funeral service included officers from dozens of departments from Texas and beyond. Jason Miles continuing our team coverage with more on that. Jason?
Sherman, you've heard of the thin blue line. Well, it's a long blue line, and events like this one, as Michelle mentioned, just wrapping up the procession beginning, it illustrates the bond between departments all over the place. Take a